Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Eternal Midnight. And today we're going back into the genre of British crime. So, a few weeks ago, we delved into gypsies and diamonds, and now we're going into drugs and clubs. So, we're back in London, and with one of my favorite all-time British crime movies, super underrated, Layer Cake. Now, this is Matthew Vaughn's if you don't know him, he directed Kick-Ass, Kingsman, X-Men First Class, Kingsman 2. This is his first movie. And a lot of this movie has a lot of big actors who are famous now. This is where they started out, or this is one of their first major films. So this is Chad just finished watching it, and Chad, I want to know, like, what are your first thoughts on Layer Cake?
It was really damn good. I mean, I'll say to anyone out there, like anybody who's like a fan of like even like James Bond movies, which is ironic because the main lead is Daniel Craig in this, who is James Bond. If you're a fan of like something like a James Bond movie, this is right up your alley. This took me by surprise how much I enjoyed this one, because it's like this was one, again, I'd never heard of it until you told me about it, and just going through it. I mean, it started a little confusing. And so at first I was like, I didn't really fully understand everything, but then all the pieces started falling into place. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I like movies like that where they don't give you the outline of like the entire movie. They just like let it follow along with the characters, and and while Snatch had this exaggerated vibe to it, Layer Cake's more down to earth, like. This is actually what crime looks like in British crime. And what do you think of the main lead? Like he has no name. He's just
no name, nothing. Yeah, I thought Craig did a great job. You could definitely tell this is pre-Bond, I think, because Casino Royale was 2006.
2004.
2004.
No, Layer Cake's 2004. Casino Royale was 2006, so it was 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say they were both the same year. Wow. Craig did a good job. I mean, I genuinely enjoy watching Craig as an actor. I think I enjoy watching him. He's just got like a smooth, badass way about him in every role that he does, and it was no exception here.
Right? Exactly. And Layer Cake is like, to me, it is. I've watched it time and time again. It's one of my favorite crime movies ever. I mean, like, I'm one of those people who I say like British crime movies are better than American crime movies. Well, some are, but not all. Like, like the best ones, like The Godfather and Departed, are of course like the high bar. But British crime is like this is like amazing stuff. And I was telling Chad, like, one of my favorite scenes in this movie is when Kingsley from Harry Potter beat up that one dude in the cafeteria, and that's just where you can tell Matthew Vaughn had his flair for violence. Because as I said to Chad, like in every Matthew Vaughn movie, there's at least like one violent scene set to music, right? And this is no exception. This was his first one where he was being the guy. There's a POV shot of him like taking like the fist to the face, and set to Duran's Ordinary World. It's like, wow, that like when I saw that the first time, like, that's Vaughn. That is Vaughn's staple right there. Like, what do you think of that, Chad?
That scene was really the camera work in this movie was amazing all over, I have to say. But it was like that fight itself was cool because like you're seeing it through the eyes of the dude who's getting the shit beaten out of him, and like that when it's like the screen's going black, it's like that's when his eyes are closed and he's like on the ground, and it just that's the difference between like a good director and a mediocre director, because a mediocre director would have probably just done like a generic camera shot of quick cuts every time a punch was done to the guy or something. Yeah. But instead, this one was, let's get creative with how we're going to film this, and it was shown from the point of view of the guy getting the shit beaten out of him. So It's like, that's genius. It just shows what a good director Vaughn is.
Yeah, exactly. And like having like when he would black out, the music would cut out, and when he would wake up again, the music would start back on. It's like you can feel like, oh, I'm getting beat up also. And when he poured the tea on him, I actually cringed. Oh, the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, that is painful.
No kidding.
And what impressed me is about the fact that there's a lot of actors here who are famous now. Like I was telling Chad, the young Tom Hardy is in this movie. He's plays Clarky like a dealer. Sadie Hawkins from Godzilla King of the Monsters is actually kind of hot in this movie. I was like,
No
wow,
kidding. She
who's
was
the hot
smoking
chick?
hot.
Yeah, who's the hot chick? And then I googled it, like, no, that's not Sadie Hawkins from Godzilla. No, and then wow. And then you have Q. You have Q from Skyfall. They share
I
some.
didn't even know. I didn't even know that was him at first.
Yeah, right. Because usually you see him with glasses, but now he has like a beard. He looks like a drug addict. You have Q from Skyfall here, and uh and he shares a scene with Daniel Craig. So like, oh my god, it's James Bond and Q. Like years earlier. Like that's kick ass. It's 8 years earlier than Skyfall. So like, and then you have Dumbledore from Harry Potter. He's in this movie, and Kingsley. And then you have Shanna Miller from, she's the Baroness from G.I. Joe. She's also in this one. Like a lot of famous people, and I like that because like I like the fact that actors, like, this is such a unique story for London British crime, and you follow the pieces, and like you have like the mystical element towards it, like a bit of a mystical element. You have that one Siberian assassin who never shows his face until the movie.
Dragon.
Yeah, he's so good. I mean, like what? Uh, yeah, and Chad, what do you think of overall, like, as a movie, like the story and the plot points and what do you think of it?
I think it was extremely. I think this is another movie that was very smartly written. The main character, while he does have his flaws, they show multiple times just how smart this guy actually is.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, for the most part, he covered all of his bases, short of one, and that kind of screwed him over in the end. But it's like this guy. It's weird. Okay, one of my favorite scenes was right after he killed Jimmy, and it showed just what he was going through, dealing with the fact that he just committed like his very first murder, because like that's probably how someone would react who's never killed anybody before.
Yeah.
He's trying to drink himself to sleep, take medicine to sleep, and no matter what he's doing, he can't do it. So it's like, I thought that was really interesting the way they showed that.
Yeah, right. And then I like the fact that before he goes to the apartment, like he throws the gun into the water, and like he burns the stuff. It's like he's very thorough. And I honestly like the main bad guy, like Michael Gambon. Like, he was such an intimidating force. Like I love that scene. That's what I'm talking about. This is the kind of comedy I like in movies. It's like, it's not that slapstick Last Jedi stuff, or like, Hux, your mom called. Like, what the hell is that? It's like it's the situation the guy's in. Like, he's about to get laid and he gets kidnapped for like of nowhere. And he opens his eyes, like, and he's still in his bathrobe, and they're talking like some serious stuff, and the guy's in his robe, like it's nothing under. Like, that's hilarious right there. And and Michael Gambon, like, putting him on the building, like, and him imposing himself as like this intimidating guy, and like that twist where they found out, when I found out Jimmy was actually a squeaker, like he was a cop, like that completely took me by surprise. Like, I watched it the first time, like, I didn't even know that was gonna happen. Like, that was like out of nowhere.
I mean, Jimmy did seem kind of stupid, for lack of better words. Yeah. So it's almost like, it almost shocked me that he wasn't caught because of just almost how dumb he was.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he seemed like one of those guys who somehow made it to like the position he was at in life, because he didn't seem very smart, like, in the slightest.
Exactly. And I love the fact that Craig, like, at the beginning of the movie, like, he sets his guidelines, like never engage the end user, always respect the cops, or know your enemy. Like, he has his guidelines, and that's how you know the character. And I feel like throughout the movie, he's dealing with stuff that at the beginning he was just the cook, he was just like the guy making the cocaine. But by the end, like, he's dealing with forces that are so out of his control, like, and the only way that he can work is his mind. Like, I just have to work through this with my intelligence, with my smarts. I have to weasel my way out. I have to make deals. I have to delay this one. Like, I like the fact, honestly, he kept delaying Assassin, because like that's not priority right now. I have to focus on, like, what happened to the Duke, what happened to the drugs, where are the drugs right now? And it's like, it's a web of like, and that's what I think Vaughn was trying to do, was the fact that he's trying to illustrate how sticky and messy crime actually is, and you have to be really smart, like Craig's character, to find a way out if you fuck up. And I like that.
And I liked when he was talking to the dealers with the pills. By the way, did you recognize what's his name? Gaza?
Yeah, from Dark Knight Rises and Pacific Rim.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was to say that was the guy from Pacific Rim. Yeah, this movie is just loaded with people you'll recognize from all over the
Yeah,
place.
exactly. Right?
But
And like,
I love that scene when he was talking to Gaza, and Gaza was like giving him one number, and Craig was just like, "That's not how it works." He's like,
yeah,
"You don't get to set the sell price. I do."
yeah, like,
It's cool
it's
because it's like
hilarious.
a
Like,
level of like it's almost like that level of drug dealing that it's like you might not think about like, oh, here, I have drugs, I'm gonna sell it for X. It's like if you're gonna go out the way that they were doing it, setting it up, there was different processes to it, and it was cool that the movie was showing us that.
exactly. And I did like the fact that like they actually portray like if a deal goes bad, like everyone, all bets are off. Like no one wants to touch it. Like no one, like when they figured out that the ecstasy pills were stolen, like no one in the British like area wanted to touch the drugs. Like I'm not stealing that. Like I know the guys were dealing it, and I don't want to even touch it. Yeah, it's like because they're afraid, like and then and then like Daniel Craig says like at one point all this drug stuff will be legal, but right now like I gotta make a living. And like one of the scenes that really got to me was like when Daniel Craig went to his bank, and the bank was just gone, like and they took all his money with him, like
Hmm.
yeah, and when I first watched it, I was like, so it means he's stuck there in his life. But once he gets out of his pickle, once he takes up all bases except one, he says, despite me having no money, I'm just gonna get out. I'm gonna hightail it out there because I don't want to be part of this. I don't want to get in a situation like this again. So like, I'll leave you guys to it, and I'll take my keys and go. But then of course, eventually the ending, like I really like it was not like, oh, he gets to be with a
I
girl.
did not expect that ending. I didn't. I really did not see that coming in the slightest.
Right, right.
I mean, just say what it is. Who cares?
Yeah, like this. Come on, this movie came out 2004, man.
Yeah.
And like,
So
man, like
if you don't want to know what the actual ending is, I guess skip ahead. I'll put a timestamp down on the bottom where you can skip to if you don't want to know the ending.
yeah. So like, basically, the ending is like Daniel Craig covers all bases. He covers Jimmy. He covers Michael Gambon. He covers the drugs. He covers the dealers. He covers a Serbian assassin hunting him down. But what he failed to cover was Shannon Miller's ex-boyfriend, played by Q. That
Mm-hmm.
basically stole Shannon Miller from him. So like, the first time I watched it, I was walking out. I was like, oh, like what? Okay, so like he's leaving the life. Despite no money, he's gonna be with his girl. He's gonna get clean. And as he's walking out, you hear a shot like no, and then he gets shot. I was like,
Boom.
oh, holy shit, holy
And the
shit.
movie doesn't even end with him like dead. It ends with him laying there on the steps bleeding out. So it's like,
Did he survive?
were they able to get an ambulance to him in time, or did he die right there on the steps? And it's almost one of those things where it's like, it almost doesn't matter if he survived or not because, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Like, it doesn't really take away from the movie at all because it's like, well, if he lives, he's got a rough life ahead of him. He just got shot in the chest. And if he dies,
He dies.
he dies. The man's a criminal anyways.
Yeah, I mean, like it just shows that like that's what I like. Like to the end, like you like that's what crime is. That's how dangerous that world of criminality is. Like you think you covered all bases, and like you forget that one small part that you think is irrelevant, and then it's actually like a big, like huge, like oh
Mhm.
shit, he has a gun, and boom. And that's it. Like one bullet to your chest, and you're dead. So like no matter how like that shows like that's what Vaughn's trying to portray. Like no matter how smart you are, no matter how good you are with covering your bases, if you forget one thing, you're just killed.
Yep. So, what was I gonna say? So, what did you? I don't know how I felt about the Duke. I mean, I thought he was just a moron, to be totally honest.
Yeah, I don't know. No, that was
He was an idiot.
that
What
was
he did.
that was Vaughn's intention. Like that was Vaughn's intention. The Duke was there to portray like fact. If you're trying to act like you're cool, like you're a gangster in this business and all that, and you have that, you're just gonna end up shot. You're just gonna end up shot and dead in an ice box.
Hmm.
That's it.
And then getting your head delivered to the head boss you robbed.
Yeah, exactly. If you think that you can just be gangster and like you be cool and have your whore with you and like you're ex-gangster friends, you're just gonna get shot. That's the whole point of Vaughn like showing the Dukes like this guy is an idiot. He's trying to act cool. He's trying to talk shit to all these people who are like so much more powerful than him. He's just gonna get killed. Like I love how nonchalant like even Sally Hawkins like played Slasher. Like she was bad mouthing that guy, like the friend of Dan Craig, and then just like dead. Like,
boom, just bullet to the head for her, and then a bullet to the chest for the dude.
yeah, cause like you're sick of your shit. Like if you're trying to act cool and be like a gangster, you're just gonna end up killed.
Well, I mean, hey, look what happened to Michael Gambon's character. He got blown away by the rival drug dealers.
Exactly. Yeah, he got killed, and then the money was stolen.
The money and the drugs were taken right away. It's crazy. I mean, it really is a great movie. I would say it. Anyone out there, if you have not seen this, I urge you watch this. If you like anything like these types of movies, this is definitely one to watch. No joke.
Right, exactly. I mean, like you end up like this is a movie like I ended up like when I stopped the movie, like when it ended, I ended up like I want to watch it again like tomorrow. Because like it's just like you miss all like you end up like this is a movie like that it just gets better over time. And like I'm not saying it's like a timeless classic like The Godfather or The Departed or The Goodfellas, but it's one that ages well. I mean like it's one that like it stands the test of time. It's not like Rise of Skywalker, where you watch it first time, it's like that was bad, and then you watch it like 6 months later, it's worse.
Now it's even worse.
Yeah, it's like you watch it in like if someone watches 2004, you can watch it in 2019. It's like it's as good as it ever was. It still stands the test of time, and I am shocked that this really went under the radar. It just only gave like 11 million on the box office.
Yeah, it definitely, I think, should have made more than that. Did it just come out at a bad time? Was it going up against something big?
At this point, like at that point in 2004, I mean, don't forget at that point in 2004, Harry Potter was like the big thing, and I think that came out the summer of Prisoner of Azkaban, so no one was really paying attention.
Okay.
And no one was famous. Daniel Craig wasn't famous. Ben Whishaw played Q wasn't famous. Shannon Miller wasn't famous. Sally Hawkins wasn't famous. Tom Hardy wasn't famous. And he got like 6 minutes in the movie. He wasn't famous at all. So
I don't remember what year. I think this must have been right around the same time that Star Trek Nemesis came out, because he was the main villain in Star Trek Nemesis, and he looked almost exactly the same. So I think it was around the same time as that.
All right. Oh, okay. So I guess so. But like, this was.
But that's what I mean. It's like he was still a very lesser known actor at the time.
Exactly. Like not like now, where like you have Tom Hardy and like.
I mean, Tom Hardy is like, who doesn't know who Tom Hardy is in today's day and age? Everyone knows the man's name.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, like you have Tom Hardy in a movie, like oh my gosh, this movie's gonna make an easy billion. Look at Venom, right? Like Tom Hardy's in it. Yeah. So like that's the point. It's like at this point like you don't know who Tom Hardy is, like and I like the fact that he's flexing, that he's showing a bit of his acting, like that's awesome to see. And it's not just like the name. Like this is the point where like Tom Hardy usually like, he's top bill, like he's the first name you see, but like in this one like he's like what 20th or 15th. He's like Tom Hardy and
stop. Your camera's off again.
Oh yeah, really? It's delayed.
Nope. Now you're good.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So
it must have just glitched out for a second.
all right, so just edit that part out. But anyway, as I was saying, like Tom Hardy's like a very like name at the very back of the film because he has a small role. But at the same time, I like the fact that right now, like he's famous, and this is one of his more smaller movies, and I like that this was a stepping stone for Vaughn to do bigger things. After this, after Layer Cake, he made Kick-Ass 6 years later, and then X-Men First Class, the best X-Men movie, then Kingsman. So like he just became a household name. Like everyone in this movie became a household name. Like Daniel Craig's the James Bond right now with the 2010s because of this, right? Like, yeah. So the fun fact about Layer Cake, Sony got Daniel Craig for James Bond because of his performance in this movie.
Nice.
So that's just amazing to see, and I like the fact that this is basically like a genesis of like so many actors and actresses and directors. That it's just when you look back on it, it's like it's still timeless. And how about you, Chad? Like thoughts, like final thoughts, like if you have any.
Yeah, it was like I said. I like the camera work. The writing was really good. The characters were all really enjoyable to watch and see. I mean, anytime you see crime, it's always like, how are they going to portray the way these people are, especially like, we'll just say the good ones, like Daniel Craig's character, who was just there to be like, hey, I'm just here to distribute the stuff, make my money, and instead he gets involved in the dirty side of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall final thoughts. It was a really cool, genuinely a really cool story, and again, highly recommend for anyone out there who hasn't seen it yet.
Exactly, and to me, it's like layer cake. It's it's a perfect like quote unquote look into a world where like if you're someone with good intentions, like someone who just wants to work and earn his keep and save to like to like to have a better future for yourself, and you get involved in this dirty work, you end up taking like a lot of consequences more than you get benefits. Like
Hmm.
Daniel Craig, look at it. Daniel Craig got his money stolen from him. He nearly died twice, thrice. He found out his boss was a cop, and then in the end he got shot. It's like
Hmm.
there's no break. It's ugly, and even if you're a good person, gonna end up getting killed. So like I like the fact that hey, it's more this movie can serve also as a cautionary tale to be like, you know, you can if you try want to get into crime, this is how it's gonna be.
Hmm.
And this is how it's gonna be like forever. You're gonna be always looking over your shoulder, waiting for an assassin or a killer or drugs, and it's like it's stressful. So just don't, you know.
Exactly.
And so for anyone who wants, to all our listeners there, if you want to watch it, listen up. So if you're listening in the Philippines, Layer Cake is right now on Netflix. That's how I always watch it. Layer Cake is always right now on Netflix. So if you want to see it, it's damn good, and it's an amazing film. For those in the US, Chad, how much did you buy Layer Cake for?
Oh, maybe 10 for the Blu-ray.
Aren't you happy you spent $10 on that?
Oh yeah, it was worth it. It was definitely worth it.
Yeah, guys. I mean, like, listen up. Last Jedi is $16 on Blu-ray. This is 10. Save six
And it's
bucks,
a better movie.
and it's a better movie. Save $6. $10 for Layer Cake. You'll end up watching. Promise me, like it's a guarantee from me that if you pop in this, you will never want to stop replaying it. If you're into crime, this is it, guys. So
Definitely.
thank you for listening to this very very quick review on Layer Cake. It's one of my favorite movies, and Chad, I'm so happy that you like the movie and you watch it. So it's like, is it gonna go up in your collection? It's gonna like put it there. You're gonna put it up on your collection of DVDs.
It'll be somewhere in there. It'll be on the crime shelf,
Yeah,
along with Godfather, Scarface, Casino, and Goodfellas.
right. And hopefully like we've done our fair share of like crime for now. So hopefully we're gonna take a break for a bit, and then I so want Chad to watch Bronson, which is Tom Hardy's first main like lead as a crime lord and all that. But we'll get to that some other time. But
Hmm.
for now,
Definitely.
this is Santino signing off. Thank you for
This is
listening, guys.
this is Chad. Thanks for listening in, guys.
All right, see ya.